Hello everybody, Michael with Juggernaut Weld Fab. Today we're working on some titanium. This is a catback exhaust from a C6 Corvette. From the factory they came with titanium exhaust. Like I said, from the cat's back. A lot of cars they'll just titanium coat them, but this is actually titanium. And this is a common upgrade. I've done quite a few of these. And all we're doing here is we're tying together, we're making a shortcut for the exhaust, right? Instead of all of the exhaust going through the muffler, some of it will bypass and dump out of this exhaust tip. I mean, it doesn't add any huge horsepower gains or anything, but it sounds really nasty. So what I did was took some 2-inch titanium tubing and we put it in the press and ovaled that. And now we're gonna get to welding it up. We're using some filler rod. This is CP1. This is grade 1 titanium. And this is 0.45 diameter. And I got it from Tycon. So I got the tubing, and I always get my filler rod from Tycon. Really good company. They also make the fancy back purge plugs that I've got, and in a previous video I showed you how to do it kind of on the cheaper side if you don't want to spend the money on the Tycon back purge plugs or similar products. So what we did for the exhaust tips, all I did was use some high temp tape for powder coating. I've got those plugged off, and I've got my Tycon back purge plug back here. We're going to go ahead and flood this thing with argon and probably let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes before we start welding on it. You know, we're running our Everlast 255 EXT. Going to be running on DC, okay? DC power. And I've got my machine set at 200 amps, but I'm not going to be using all 200 amps. Obviously, we'll regulate it with the foot pedal. With titanium, the biggest thing is gas coverage. It is a must to back purge. You have to back purge it, and you want to really flood that weld zone with a lot of gas. So Stacia and Eric over at Edge, they actually do make a really badass titanium setup. This replaces any trailing cups that you may have, any trailing rigs. I used to have a really expensive one and it got broken. But this thing is gnarly. You can see the size of that, the amount of gas that's going to flow. And what they did was made a custom adapter to adapt from like a 9 or a 20 series torch to like a 17 full-sized gas lens. And then the same thing with their collet. It's a special collet, and that you can get in different diameters. This one is 3/32, I believe, and it also comes with your sleeve that screws on, your insulator. You got your heat insulator, and your cup just slides right onto that adapter and you're good to go. I've already used this on a larger titanium project, and it worked out amazing. For this, I don't feel the need to use that, so we're going to go ahead and run their number 23, and I'll show you guys how good this thing shields. So we want to get our heat in quickly, similar to stainless. But what you'll notice when welding titanium is the puddle isn't as smooth and shiny as stainless is. It's almost gritty. You'll see it's kind of a muddy looking puddle. You'll see a little bit of grit, but that's okay. That's just the way titanium is. So take your time, but at the same time, you want to get into it and move quickly and just keep that gas shielding when you let off your pedal. So let's get after it, shall we? Okay, so I switched out to a slightly larger filler rod. This is a 1/16. Just, it's flowing much better than the 045. I've got a small gap here that now I'm just using lay wire technique, putting a slight amount of pressure on the filler rod as I'm moving forward. Make sure that you move your cup around, otherwise you might just get one little spot where it didn't cover because your tungsten was right in the way. You can see that flowed really nice. Nice colorless weld, that's what you're looking for. That's how you know you've got enough gas coverage. You know you've got enough gas coverage and you're not burning too hot. You don't want colors with with titanium. A light wheat color is okay, but other than that, you want a colorless weld. Very nice, very nice. When you're welding on older titanium like this, it's very important to clean it very well. So as you can see right here, what I did was I used the lay wire technique. There's a small gap between the lip of the tubing and this tubing. So all I'm doing is taking my filler rod and laying it in that gap, and as I create my puddle, I'm just pushing slight pressure against that. Just slight pressure. If you don't put that pressure, it's the rod's going to want to melt away from you. So just a slight amount of pressure, and you can see that laid down very nice. All right, so we just finished this up. Again, we were TIG welding titanium catback exhaust on a Z06 Corvette, and we are using our Edge number 23 cup. This thing, I was running the tungsten out probably 2 inches and it didn't even flinch at it. Shielding very well. We're using our Everlast 255 EXT, so couldn't do it without you guys. And everybody that's watching, if you've got a positive comment to leave, I'm always open to learning something new, tips, anything. Again, like I said, I'm not perfect, and you know, I do all right. But thank you guys for watching. Please hit the subscribe, and have a good day.